Hi guys, this is Mecca here and I welcome you to join me in another 1 versus 1 cast, and this is the second game of the best of 5 games. Remember the last game I cast was the IEM American Championship semi-finals. So let me introduce the two players right now, and they are playing on Blistering Sand. This is drewbie here, spawning as the Red Terran. He's at about the 3 o'clock position or about 2 o'clock, and his enemy here will be at around the 7 o'clock position, Fenix, who is the Blue Terran. And remember, in the last game, Fenix actually won with a very convincing win, I would say, because he actually had a lot of troops when he was attacking drewbie, and drewbie has no answer to that. So it is very interesting to always see the same race playing each other, and I myself is one of a fan, because it would be so interesting that the other team might actually copy your tactics. Like, I believe that Fenix has actually copied some of drewbie drop's tactics, which is used to great effect at one of the stage where he actually killed off his SCV at his main base. That was really dangerous and really devastating to drewbie's economy, because he had really no workers at that time, and he just about set up his second expansion at his natural. And okay, you see Fenix here, after exploring drewbie, he's going to just try to probably kill off the worker that's building the barracks. So very standard view. Let's just check out the production tab. Yes, and looks like Fenix has his barracks and refinery up and running, and he's just trying to do some damage over here. Don't see much over here, and he's just scouting around to see whether he has placed any supply depot here, because this is the back door. Remember, one of a very vulnerable place. If you do not have sight of it, suddenly out comes Fenix gang and one whole troop of marauders and marines might be waiting for him here. So he's just wandering around his base, and I don't see drewbie doing any scouting on Fenix as of yet. Not too sure why. Was it part of the strategy? Definitely not a very good strategy. It's always good to scout your opponent, so you know what step is he doing and at what stage he is at. Are you at an advantage or are you at the losing end? So we can see that Fenix has already placed a depot here. He is going to see if there's any mischief coming up. Let's just check out his view over here, and he will be able to see any troops coming down here. And looks like, let's just switch to view, and he's just going to take care of the Zanelga tower. He's just going to hang his marine over there. So, and he has a fast Reaper out. I'm not too sure what can that do. So let's just check any other kind of units they are producing. So pretty much something different, but it's already going for early siege tank for drewbie. So I believe one of his strategy this time around was to use more tanks and a lot of marines to support the firepower, and of course to fend off any attacks against the siege tank, because the siege tanks are the ones that are going to be laid back behind, doing most of the damage in this game. And as you can see, Fenix has just done a scan on drewbie, so he has sent his troops down to the back door. Not too sure why. I don't think you'll be destroying the rocks that soon, right, with this small force of one Reaper. And the Reaper is going to die. Is he going to die? Yes! And he's dead. drewbie's tank just killed him off and has no damage. So let's just check out unit loss, and looks like Fenix is on the losing end at this moment. But that is just very early in the game, and we do not know what will happen next. And drewbie is actually constantly doing more tanks. And is he going for a starport already? Yes, he already has a starport. What about Fenix? Fenix also going a starport as well as a medivac. So he's probably going to do the drop or a small ball push, which I wouldn't say is very effective, but then again, these two players are really top players. Just take a look at their APM. I didn't manage to show in the last game, so I reckon this game I have to show the APM. Look at Fenix, crazy APM at average 261, whereas drewbie is not so high. Okay, drewbie has 8. Viking is just going to scout, and let's just check out his view. He has managed to catch sight of his army, and he is probably trying to go from the back door. I'm not too sure whether that would be a wise choice. He's just afraid to go in there and get all his troops killed. So remember, one thing is to actually keep as many of your units alive as possible, because if you manage to keep them alive, especially for Terran, your bio units, they'll be able to get regenerated by the medevac. Okay, there's some attacking down here. I can see drewbie, he's actually attacking on the back door, but I don't know why he went to alert him with hitting on the supply depot. That I'm sure Fenix will know that something is wrong here. So anyway, he didn't care, or he didn't know. He's going to perform one of his drops over here. I'm not too sure where is he going. So drewbie is going back, I don't know for what. He should have probably hit on the destructible rocks and destroy it, and maybe he can go in from the back door. Although I do see a lot of tanks in defense here, but it's definitely worth a risk. Remember this phrase, no risk, no return. It applies in StarCraft as well. The more risk you take, the higher returns you get. So unless you're very sure there are a huge defense over here, but if you took a risk to take down the destructible rocks and go in through his back door, which might actually reap rewards for him. So this lone Banshee just moving around. Fenix, oh yes, there's a drop here, and we can see that the earlier dropship was there, and you made the way all the way to the top. So it's going to get chased away by the Vikings. So the Viking speed is 2.75. I'm not too sure whether the medevac speed has actually been decreased. And no, it's about the same. I remember reading the patch. Okay, this is patch 1.1.1, so there is no difference. The medevac dropship are still very good because they are flying at the same speed as the Viking. So if they do get a head start of the Viking, they will be... Oh, this is crazy. I don't know what is he doing. He's gonna lose his medevac for sure. Oh, he also lost his Banshee there, drewbie. So I do not know what he can do with 4 Marines and 1 Marauder. Probably he's waiting for his other force to come, but it's a long time to reach there, I would say, before they can get rescued or they can recon back with their own forces. Anyway, I think this drewbie has saw it, and he's going to kill this roach army over here. They're pretty much acting on their own, right? Okay, you can see that Fenix is just trying to go for a multiple tanks here, trying to guard the back door. He's afraid the army will come through here. I think they are going to do that, but drewbie has actually saw him coming, and yes, with his Viking he's able to siege them, but Fenix does not. He's done a scan, so it's tanks versus tank, and also some Marines. I believe Fenix tanks has only left 1 out of 4. I think he brought 4 along and then left 1, so that is a very pathetic. Is he going to push for more? Do we see more coming from Fenix? Yeah, he's doing more tanks and also upgrading the weapons attack. Oh, that's a very smart move by drewbie, placing a siege tank down here. No problem, says the tank. He can get rid of all these pesky little Marines. Is it one thing about Marines? They are cheap and good, and if you have a lot of them, they are really good. I tell you, okay, and here's Fenix. I do not know why drewbie is going straight into this trap set by Fenix. Look, take out this siege tank. He probably had killed a lot of kills before he went down courageously. And yes, he's going to try to take down this expo, but I'm afraid it's pretty hard because of the position of the siege tank and the natural. So he's just going to lay wait outside, and this is a very smart move here again. Fenix using his Banshee, cloak Banshee, to get rid of drewbie. but drewbie has this one Viking, which is a hard counter against